All sports talk shows are the same, right?
I am bothered by everything.
You gotta go back to football school.
The goal of this guy, it's just immeasurable.
Wrong. In a world filled with talking heads more interested in their own celebrity than actually knowing the sports world, it's hard to find the people who really care about sports first. Look no further. Wire to Wire has it all covered. These guys have the knowledge and the cred to back up their opinions. No hot takes to get attention, just straight up opinions. Know anyone else who correctly called the 2020 World Series and March Madness? How about 70% on the NFL and NCAA football last year? You don't. Bottom line, these guys know their shit. They aren't doing it for attention, they're doing it for passion. Wire to Wire, live every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, only on Toxic Radio and wherever you find podcasts. Got an idea for a podcast and think you have the talent to make it a reality? Already have a podcast but been thinking you could take it up a notch, but you're just not sure how to do it? Well, Toxic Entertainment has everything you need to go from podcasting to podcasting. Bring us your talent, your passion, and your best ideas. We'll bring to the table our state-of-the-art technology and comfortable facility, creative and professional staff dedicated to bringing your ideas to life, competitively priced packages to suit your goals and budget, and over 10 years of experience as a leader in the podcasting field. Toxic Entertainment offers quality and affordability that can't be beat. When you're ready to start your journey, Toxic Entertainment is here to help you reach your destination. Learn more at toxicentertainment.net or call 888-66-TOXIC to arrange a studio tour. That's 888-66-86942. Toxic Entertainment, where creativity meets passion.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Taking It Deep with The Godfrey. I am The Godfrey, TheGodfrey. That's me. Welcome back. You're back. That means you liked it. We got Mike on the other side. He's going to put some hot shit in his mouth tonight. Or, if you like hot shit, that's good, but not in a bad way. We'll talk about that later on. Super secret food will be tested out. Jordan Ed did a program. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about Joe Rogan. A lot of stuff has been going on with him. I purposely waited a couple weeks to let the dust settle because everybody has high emotions. And I was trying to figure out a way I could say it without saying it because that's what we have to do these days. So, with that being said, we'll get into that. But I wanted to share a very special video with you that inspired me throughout this week. And it made me feel like this is how I'm going to approach this week. And I'm going to do me. And Mike's going to cue that up for you. Mike, are you ready with that? This is Mike's ex-girlfriend.
The audio's going out to them. We're not hearing it here. I don't know why. Everybody out there heard it.
That's okay.
Let me just fix it for a second.
It's okay.
That actually should be coming through to us, and I don't know why it's not.
I'll blame Jamie.
So I do apologize for
Was Jamie the last one to touch the board?
Well, this is the problem when you leave me back here to fend for myself. I've got so many buttons. I don't know which ones I'm supposed to be pressing and which ones I'm not.
That's what she said.
That is my fault, Godfrey.
No big deal. But anyway, if we can't hear the audio, we can just play it for the audience.
I got it now. You want to do? I apologize. You want to do this again?
We're gonna rewind. Yeah, I used to have that sound effect. All right, we're ready. Go. This was my inspirational video.
Oh, look at this Power Ranger. Go, go, Power Ranger. Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Crackosaurus.
Crackosaurus.
That was...
Crackosaurus.
What?
All right, then. It's morphin' time.
Wow. We just went full on Power Ranger in.
Triceratops. Tyrannosaurus. Yeah. We're ready to morph into ice.
What the hell am I looking at?
Together to fight evil.
Is the Krakasaurus gonna pop up again?
From destroying our planet Earth and ruling the universe with evil.
All right, you can cut it. You can cut it. Cut
Oh
it.
my god, it goes into a whole thing.
Yeah, she was an internet sensation, but good on her for having the stones to wear that outfit, because she definitely did look like a Power Ranger for
What
sure.
the hell? How do you find that stuff?
TikTok is full of gems. It is full of gems. So, you know, like me, she's seen it. Jordan's seen it. See, and it's a funny one, isn't it? So that's my thing. Like, it's inspirational.
Not only inspirational, but you're bringing back people's childhoods.
That's true. Mike, I heard a rumor you're gonna buy a virtual bar. There's controversy.
That is hilarious that you bring that up. I am looking into staking Toxic Radio's claim in the metaverse. We're going to see where it goes, but yes, I am.
I know this may be a
looking into
controversial
it.
opinion, but I am full support of that.
I mean, it's a very big deal going on right now. People are buying virtual plots, virtual places.
I'm gonna buy. I want to buy a
kinda
virtual.
put it-
I want to get a virtual strip club plot.
What? I mean, they have those. They have those in all different kinds of places.
Let's 3D twerk.
Decentraland. They've got them in Horizon Worlds. But yeah, so
Let's 3D twerk.
you know, for any of you out there that are fans of virtual reality, I'm looking to have a virtual reality Toxic Radio studio / bar / club / rock venue.
Yeah, I'm gonna participate. So I'll show up. But that's interesting. So I have adopted the VR life, and it's pretty fun. The Oculus is very cheap for what it gives you, compared to other headsets that are $2,000.
There are headsets $2,000.
HTC Revive is $2,000, I believe.
Mm-hmm. But Oculus, well, it's no longer Oculus. It's the Meta Quest 2, and the entry level is only $299. You can go get
You
it
say
today
that, but when I get
and
push
join us.
notifications for buying shit, it says Oculus on it.
Yes, but if you did watch, and I'm sure that you did, the Super
Probably
Bowl,
not.
they
Oh, I
had the first ever VR commercial during the Super Bowl that specifically said that it is called the Meta Quest.
See, guys like you watch the commercial at the Super Bowl. I get up to get another beer at commercial when watching the Super Bowl.
You're such an ass.
He wants to buy a virtual house next to the Godfrey. Well, here's the thing. There's a 7-Eleven near my house, so it might not cost that much. You might get robbed. So be careful. Get security, real security.
Two comments that didn't show up in our system to show on screen. Laura says, "No, you are not," and "Are you paying for it, Godfrey?"
It's not my idea. Why would I pay for
Right.
it?
I mean, it's for
What
the
is this?
company.
I'm being
it's the
supportive
company.
here.
Yeah,
Don't try to penalize me. Like, that's ridiculous. I mean,
it's for the betterment.
if I buy the bar just because you said that, you're not allowed in, Laura. No, it's I might look into getting one too. Maybe we'll have dueling bars. I'll make mine a virtual reality piano bar
So and right
with
now,
baby Yoda Grogon playing it. Have you even watched that yet, Mike? Have you watched Book of Boba Fett?
no.
You're dead to me.
But as of right now, you could go on Fiverr and you can pay a developer to build your world for you.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like I don't know, man. I got to look more into that. I don't know if I trust a Fiverr guy or lady.
No.
I don't know.
I have gone through Fiverr many times throughout the lifespan of Toxic. I have pretty much had nothing but good experiences. You got to weed through the good and bad, but it's very good, and you're supporting DIY creators that make really amazing stuff out of your vision.
So, saw something interesting the other day while in the crapper. And I want everybody to admit that 90% of the population, okay, you look at your phone while taking a poop. Let's just be real there. Probably more than that. But okay, let's say that you don't if you want to be.
I do know individuals that think it's disgusting.
Do you look at your phone while taking a poop?
Of course. What else are you going to do?
Okay. I know people that used to read the newspaper all the time, but that's, passe now, right?
I mean, newspaper, magazines, the Sears catalog.
The Sears cat, wow. Talk about porn deprivation. So, Uber will now let you see how many one-star ratings you got from your drivers. That's right. So, if you were a piece of shit when you took a ride, you crumpled up crumbs and ate food, left wrappers in there, peed on the seat, maybe left some feces or some earwax, and you got a 1-star rating. You can't figure out why you can't get an Uber driver to pick you up because you have like a 3.2 rating. Well, now you get an explanation for why you are a dirtbag. That's right. They're going to start letting you do that. For the first time, Uber is allowing its customers to see how many 5-star ratings they've received from drivers, as well as how many shameful 1-star reviews they racked up. For years, the two-way rating system has fueled Uber's power over its riders and drivers. Low-performing drivers, those with an average of 4 stars or less, are at risk of deactivation. Even some poorly behaved passengers could get kicked off the platform if they received enough 1-star ratings. Now, Uber is offering its customers fresh insight into how they are perceived by drivers. Seems fair.
Mm-hmm.
Customers will be able to access a breakdown of their average ratings in the Uber's app. New privacy menu, which will be available to customers globally. You know, it's funny. I used to drive Uber years ago, and I would look for some red flags, right? Like if you were really, really drunk, like you were gonna throw up, I might drive away and cancel your ride.
Really?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've had situations where people will fall asleep in a car, and I'm like, "Yo, get that! All right, you're here." I had one guy. His drop-off point he picked was like in the middle of like an apartment complex, and he walked off into the woods. Left my door open, so I let him walk off, and I closed my door. He's a grown-ass man. I don't know what happened to him, but I know he got kicked out of the bar, so they called him an Uber. I picked him up, and I'm in Jersey, and this is always a bad recipe, driving Uber in Jersey. And I'm like looking at the bouncer out there, and I'm looking at this guy stumbling out. I'm like, fuck. So I take him there. He's like, can we go to Taco Bell? I'm like, no, we can't go to Taco Bell. We can take your ass the fuck home. He's making like in-ride requests. Can we go to Taco Bell? No. You ever hear of Uber Eats or DoorDash or
Uber Eats wasn't around forever.
It definitely was around then, and even if it wasn't, the answer still would have been fucking no. So I took him home, and he stumbled off into the woods. I mean, I've had people just lose their mind, but I remember one time I had a guy request a ride, and it was weird because his pickup location was the same destination as his drop-off, and I was like, how's that possible? Right? So I go to the bar to pick him up, and this guy's like weeble and wobble and like this, and I'm like, oh my God, I figured it out. He was too drunk to pick his destination home, so he made his start and end destination the same. So I kind of did like a drive-by, and I was looking out the window like, hey, what's up? And I didn't say anything to him, and then he looked at, I could see him, I was laughing evilly. I was like, because he was looking at his phone, and he looked up, he was like, oh, there's my phone. There's my ride. And then I hit cancel, and I was driving away, and he's like, wait. And I'm just like, out of here. Because I knew the guy would get in my car and either A, fall asleep, throw up, because I only had that happen to me once, and it was on the outside of my car. They wanted to, and a little bit splashed in between the windows, so I had to clean it out of my door, right? The dude gets in, he's like, yo, man, this is 2 kids from Westchester. I picked them up at Westchester College, okay? This is called Uber Wars with Godfrey. And they're sitting on the curb at a 7-Eleven. They look beaten tired, like they've been through it. It's about 2 a.m. I'm like, okay, maybe college kids, maybe not. Getting it back. I think the one dude just scarfed down a 7-Eleven pizza, fresh off the thing, after drinking probably God knows what. Gets in, he's fine. Now, I'm prepared for my passengers. I have barf bags. Plenty of them.
But my understanding is if in an Uber, if somebody pukes in your car, don't you get like $300 or something?
No, it's like $170.
Okay.
Then you got to clean it. But this is what happened. The guy's like, well, I don't want to throw up, so I don't want to use your puke bag. I'm like, no. And I go to him. I'm like, if you throw up in a puke bag, it's all good. That's what it's there for. I'd rather you get it in there than on the car. So he doesn't get into my car, if I had time to bring up the photos, I have photo evidence still. I have a 04 Ford Explorer. My whole car, it's my Uber car, was covered in fucking vomit.
Wow.
So I had to go home at like 2:30 in the morning. I'm out there spraying my car off in the middle of Philly. A cop comes to me. He's like, "Are you all right, buddy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just cleaning a barf off my car. A giraffe just threw up on my car. I'm sorry, officer." He's like, "Oh, okay, no problem." So he drives away, cleaning off the barf, and they gave me $80. I had to fight him. And I said, it's going to cost more than that to clean it because they determined by the pictures that some asshole sitting at Uber was like, well, that's not $150. I'm like, oh yeah, what detailer you know is going to clean out vomit for $80? Now, luckily, I knew people in all the industry, so I got to take care of very easily. But it takes you off the road and you lose money. But you know, the kid's like, hey man, try not to charge me. I'm like, yeah, how about I'm doing it like yesterday and drove away. Like, fuck that. You know, people, you know, you just because you're driving in someone's Uber and you're drunk doesn't mean you own them and you could just drop a deuce in there. Yeah, I won't want to clean someone else's puke no matter what. Now, thankfully, I didn't have to get in there and scrub it, but it was like on the edge where like he threw up on the outside of the car, but like it could have gotten to the cracks where the window is, right? That's what I feared. Because if it gets in there too much, it's going to smell like ass for days, and you're never going to get it out. Now, thankfully, that didn't happen, because you're going to know. And I went back and forth and threatened legal action. It was ridiculous. I should have just drove the car like right off the bridge and just like collected insurance or something. But it was ridiculous. And all these, you clean up Godfrey's pews after staying a week in a spare room. That's right. He's like the North English grizzly bear. He's like you're hairy, but I'm not. He's just as hairy. But anyway,
it's crazy because I've drove Uber too, and I always wished that I would get the drunk people. I always wondered
why.
Because I never did. I never got the partiers, the drunk people. I just got the people going to work, coming home from work, people going to the concerts. And even one time I went to go pick up a group of girls from like over in Philly from a concert. And like I was like, all right, I'm going to get some drunk concert goers. They got in, they were sober as anything. And I'm like, I didn't get the partiers.
Yeah, I did, definitely, especially when you're around college and all that. So, I mean, I was trying to make the money, but I had an old lady come from a house Christmas party and tinkle in my car.
Wow.
Yeah, this one was great. She peed in my car, and I was like, did she pee in my car? I had to clean it off. That's right, yep. And so they charged her $150, and I cleaned it off, and I had to go pick up the next ride.
Was it drunk pee or?
I think it was.
Because drunk pee is different than regular pee.
She tipped me $20 cash too, and I said no problem. I'll be in my head. I'm like, I'll be charging you $150 as well.
I mean, let's be honest. Drunk pee is like water. Regular pee is like ammonia.
Well, I wasn't about to go CSI on the piss and be like, you know. And I'm pretty sure she was drinking some Maker's Mark or something.
I'm just saying, if I had a choice to be peed on, and I had a choice between drunk pee and not drunk pee, I would pick drunk pee.
Well, this old bird was sitting back there spread eagle pretty much, and I was like, Jesus Christ, and I was like, let me just get her home. Wasn't a far ride. And the funny thing is, the next person I had to pick up was furious because I ran late because I had to take care of that. And I wanted to tell the guy, don't sit on this side because I had it kind of roped off. And guess what? He didn't hear me because I didn't know he was deaf.
Oh.
So he gets in the car and he's mad and he's like growling at me. I'm like, why is this guy growling at me? And it's because he was deaf, so he's trying to communicate that he's mad. And I took him there, and then he said something to me and did some sign language and said fuck you. And I said, you know what, you can get the fuck out of my car right now. I was like, just because you have a disability doesn't mean you can be an asshole. And I was like, get the fuck out.
Jesus, Godfrey.
He was listen. I didn't know that, and I wasn't treating him any different. I just was like,
I treat everybody the same.
I do
as a dick.
No, he deserved that. You don't growl at people. He was growling.
You've never growled at somebody?
Fuck no.
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 Grr.
I'm just gonna punch you in the face if I really want to fight that badly, and I'm not really that type of guy, so it probably won't happen. But I'm not gonna growl at you like an animal. And then he was just and it was like. You would have thought that I was taking him to the birth of his first child. It was like a block away. He could have walked. He's probably going to play a Dungeons and Dragons game or something like that.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know.
What's going on? Why is that a bad thing?
I'm just guessing that's where he was, probably walking into a basement.
Is that a bad thing, playing Dungeons and Dragons?
No, but those individuals tend to be a little lonely.
How are they lonely? You need like 7 people to play D&D.
Well, usually they're just with their bros.
So that's not lonely.
Sharing zit cream.
Sharing zit cream?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was something that's like a community thing.
I heard that is in the Magic Gathering and World of Warcraft, world there, or the D&D world.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called LARPing. Is that what it's called?
Yes. LARPing is something different. Do you know what LARPing stands for?
Live action role play.
Exactly. So
Yeah,
that
that's
is
like
something different. That
LARPing is what they did in Role Models. If you saw that,
Yeah,
movie.
that is dressing up and role playing out, spell casters and warriors and stuff like that.
I heard your mom likes role play.
It was also in oh my god, why can't I think of his name? The bow and arrow guy from the Avengers. Why can't I think of his name?
Hawkeye.
Yeah, it was in the Hawkeye show.
Wow, what is wrong with you? The bow and arrow. I thought you were gonna say Robin Hood for a second.
Yeah, it could have been Robin Hood. You know what? People growl at people. I'm just gonna put that out there.
They do. So
Yes.
you growl at people.
I'll growl at a person.
Okay, but you growl at people.
Super Dave is a LARPer. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, Super Dave is definitely a LARPer.
I mean, he likes Renaissance fairs. Renaissance
I
fair.
heard he LARPs often or cosplays often as Gandalf.
The Renaissance. The Renaissance Fair is a place for LARPers, but just because you go to the Renaissance Fair does not mean you are a LARPer. Just the way that
I've seen it. He's fully dressed up in full garb. He was eating one of those Cornish game head mutton chops.
just like you could be a furry without being into all the weird sex stuff.
Are you a
but
furry?
the weird sex
Are
stuff
you a furry?
happens at the furry conventions.
Are you a furry?
I mean, I have a lot of fur on me. Does that make me a furry?
I don't know. I mean, it would be fun to LARP. I think I've done it in a form. I would do it. Why not? We should all go to the Renaissance Fair with Dave once and just like.
But you don't. That's not LARP. I mean, I could. You could. Because
All right, if you go there dressed up and you use an accent or you talk differently than you normally do, is that considered a LARPing?
I don't know because you're live action role playing, but you're not. You're role playing with people that are acting, but you're acting in a role playing, but they're acting on the job, and you're not battling.
I feel like you're splitting pube hairs here.
Because in LARPing, you've got to have like a sack full of sand that you throw at people and you yell 10 damage.
Hey.
Because there's it's life or death in LARPing.
You know what I love, and I want you to watch.
Me?
Someone just mentioned tipping in the chat, and I want you to check this out. I want you to check this out. There's you ever see that TikTok where it's like, hide the money, y'all, there's poor people around?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna tag you in these TikToks from now on where the guy's like, you don't tip, you don't get your food delivered. There's got to be something going on with DoorDash drivers.
I see these fucking TikToks, and any TikTok about the tipping, and if you
well,
don't
this
tip,
one specifically seems to be going viral with the
pisses me
DoorDash
off
drivers.
To no end.
With
Pisses me off to
the
no end.
DoorDash drivers. I'm gonna tag you in it. But yeah, and I think he's trolling people because they're getting real upset about it. But
Pisses me off to no end.
saying a Renaissance fair is and LARPing isn't the same thing as like saying sucking one dick doesn't make you gay.
What?
Listen, they could be a porn actor, Brad.
Look, all I'm saying
it's
is
a theater.
a Renaissance fair is a fair where you're going to celebrate Renaissance time.
by
You are
pretending that you're in the Renaissance wearing Renaissance clothing.
But you don't have to dress up, and a lot of people do not dress up when they go there.
You feel like an
So
asshole
it is-
probably if
it
you're
is
not dressed up.
I have been to the Renaissance fair where myself and the people I was with did not dress up.
Really? Did you feel like an asshole?
No. Actually,
Maybe that's a natural thing.
I got upset with one of the people working there because I asked him a question and he started talking to me with the accent in like old timey. I was like, "Look, dude, I'd been drinking." I was like, "You're a guy, I'm a guy. Can you just tell me what I need to know?" But yeah, so I don't agree that LARPing and the Renaissance Fair are the same thing.
So
Don't agree.
is it cross dressing from medieval times?
You got to remember, the people that are working there are creating the environment for the people that show up.
You think once Dave figures out he's getting roasted a little bit, he'll start listening to the show weekly?
I would say it's more like it's more like a convention where
I should tag him in the comments
it's more
right
like
now.
a Renaissance convention, just like any kind of Comic-Con or something like that, or horror convention, where some people dress up and some people don't. So it's a cosplay scenario, but it is not LARPing.
Well, all I know is Dave looked like Gandalf with a shaved head when he was when he was doing it. It was great.
Now, Dave is very into that culture.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I might do it one time and show up as like a knight in like a outfit. Like,
So here you go.
I want to like throw like grapes at people like this, and I'll do like fucking crazy shit like that.
So LARPing, a live-action role-playing game, is a form of role-playing game where the participants physically portray their characters. So they're portraying their characters, and it's a game. The players pursue goals within a fictional setting represented by real-world environments while interacting with each other in character. They have their own characters. They doesn't have to be medieval times. They could be elves. They could be manitors. They could be anything. So it is not a Renaissance fair.
Yeah, well, I guess sure if you want to split those hairs.
It's not splitting hairs.
Okay.
It's not splitting hairs. A Renaissance fair is an outdoor weekend gathering open to the public and typically commercial in nature, which purportedly recreates a historical setting for the amusement of its guests.
So
totally different.
the
It's
Role
not a
Models
game.
movie is a good movie to kind of peer in.
Not a game.
It's kind of a good way to peer into this lifestyle. Like, you know, very, very. It's not too detailed, but it's very. I'm the word I'm looking for here, but it gives you like a preview of
Thank
it.
you. Jordan agrees with me. Thank you. Yes, but LARPing is dressing up and acting out in a different time, like the rest of Renaissance. It is like the Renaissance in terms of a different time, and normally within like armor and medieval, but it is not.
Well, how about the movie Role Models? And everybody remembers the line from there. I'm drinking Shrek's piss.
Right.
That was a great movie, by the way. I don't know how you feel about the movie, Mike. Role Models.
Yes, I know. I like that. I thought it was really
And
good.
they have LARP in there, and
Yes.
they're all dressed like the Renaissance time, though.
Because with LARPing, live action role playing, for the most part, just like any kind of video game.
So I could fuck the Renaissance fair up by going there and dressed up like that, and then I decide to bring some styrofoam fucking swords, and I'm like, now we're LARPing, everybody. We're LARPing now. What can you do? Oh, yes. Come fight me.
But
I
then
have
you're
my
mixing-
shield, bitch.
But then you're mixing LARPing and the Renaissance fair.
I'm mixing this
Then you're
Renaissance fair.
mixing.
I'm taking over.
Because
Kisseth my ring.
video games like Skyrim and ones of that nature, yes, all take place in that kind of medieval time, but they are
Is
not
there
the
VR
Renaissance
LARPing?
fair.
I'm pretty sure there is.
I'm pretty sure.
I feel like Phoenix is a version of VR LARPing, in my opinion, or Zenith. I'm
in
sorry.
your penis.
No, in my opinion. I mean, I always prefer to use my penis for live action role play.
What?
What? What did you just say? So, interesting. I didn't think we would get into a deep LARPing discussion here, but, you know, hey, that's what you get on taking it deep.
Guess what? You're going to go a little deeper.
Oh, boy. Why? Are we taking it deep?
Yeah, we're going to take it deep. We're going to take it real deep. Because this right here is LARPing, where we've got full armor, we've got weapons.
Of course, you go to the extreme end. Show what that you can't see that guy in the upper left hand corner. That doesn't look like he'd be those. I see those people at like
He's
a Renaissance
got
fair.
elf ears.
You don't
that
think
is
they
not the Renaissance fair.
You don't
She
think
is
elf ears happen there?
steampunk. They do not have elves at the Renaissance fair. That is not a thing.
I don't know.
That is not a thing because elves weren't around during the Renaissance. That's why it's different. When you go to the Renaissance fair, they try to recreate the Renaissance. It is way more. If I look at this, I'm way more thinking of Alice in Wonderland and jousting and stuff like that. There are no.
There's nothing. What's not live action about jousting?
But there's no fighting here, other than the people on the horses. But
I
that's
like
jousting.
I want her number.
But this is all.
Man, will you let me
This is,
slay with you?
this is not live action role playing. This is role playing, but these individuals are working. This is their job. They are actors. Whereas these ones, this is just Bob from accounting, and this is what he does on the weekends. I mean, look at this one. They've got friggin' orcs.
Yeah.
You're not finding an orc at the Renaissance fair.
He'll go to that guy's house and he'll have a fucking box spring for a mattress, but he has an orc.
All right.
Yeah.
Some medieval times is paid LARPing. Sure, I'll go with that.
Exactly,
I'll
Alex.
Go with that.
Exactly.
I'm sure. Jesus Christ.
Okay. So, play that. So we'll get. By the way, Mandalorian and Boba Fett The Mandalorian's been wrapped up. Mandalorian 3's coming. I just canceled my Disney Plus because the latest Star Wars series is over. I'm done with you for a couple months, and I'm not gonna just pay for it every month and not watch it. That's what I'm doing with these streaming services. Pretty sure Mike's way on board with that. But Lucas had a concern about Baby Yoda. I thought was interesting, or Grogon. Is he a Baby Yoda or is he a Grogon? He's really.
He's a baby. To us, he's Baby Yoda because he resembles a Yoda, and that's the only version of that species we ever saw. But no, he's not Baby Yoda.
Yeah, Lucas had concerns that he didn't have enough training, and he left Skywalker, and now he has Jedi powers. So you pay for Disney. Yes, I don't have Verizon. I paid for it, but I don't pay for Paramount Plus or Netflix. So. That works out.
So in your face.
Boom.
Drop the mic.
That's supposed to be a clap. How shitty is that? That's supposed to be a clap. What does that sound like?
And it sounds like no show prep.
No. Show.
Sounds like Godfrey hates show prep.
That's not what
you
that
didn't
is.
check that sound clip.
I have the applause right here. Fuck you. Okay, what did you just fall over? That's what you get. That's karma.
I kicked the cord.
That's karma. Yeah, he was concerned about him having training anyway. So since he's no longer training with him, that was one of Lucas's major concerns since he was involved with the book. But guess that worked out. I do find it kind of funny though. That part of the show, almost unpopular opinion, I feel like it's forced. Like the Baby Yoda and Grogu, I feel like it's forced because his movement's not really natural, and I almost feel like, hey man, here's a rope for the non-Star Wars fans to get into it because they think he's this cute little entity.
But again, Baby Yoda, as everybody calls him, he went viral.
He did
go
viral.
A marketing phenomenon where people are buying up anything and everything.
Yeah, and he says 2 words and eats fucking frogs.
Right.
And goes like this.
So even though maybe the hardcore...
And falls over like a drunk after he uses his Jedi powers. He's like, I'm exhausted.
Possibly the hardcore individuals do not appreciate it, just like the Jar Jar Banks.
I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm not hardcore. I mean, I'm not like those people. Remember when the new Star Wars were going to do it? Oh my God, you're using CGI. I'm like, shut up.
But a guy that I follow, he just literally bought this, and that thing is at least a couple of $100. So people are fanatic.
He looks like he's laying all the serious pipe.
That is Nathan. He is a VR content creator.
You know what? Good for him. He's probably got a beautiful girlfriend, and he's very happy. And I'm pretty sure, or that's what he prefers. Who knows?
but again, it is a marketing. It is a marketing ploy, but it works.
So speaking of marketing, we're getting some stuff more serious. Some of you might like to hear this. There's a new FCC rule bringing broader choice of internet providers for renters. Mike, no, it's not for business. Yes, fuck Comcast. That's our own. But that's soon to come. And if some of you out there live in an apartment building where you had to get a specific internet service because the building leased with them, guess what? That is going to be illegal soon, and it's going to come into play. So now they have to give you choice for other internet providers. Will that come to the business world? Here at Toxic Radio, we sure as fuck hope so as well, because, we have a choice of one, and they suck ass. Comcast, you fucking suck.
No. I'm going to be real. We have a choice of anybody we want to go with. Comcast has a monopoly, so it's the only one we can go with.
Right, and that's what this is designed to give people more choice, to get away from the monopoly, because when you buy up all these little companies and you have one choice,
I thought you were saying something different.
Yeah. So
I apologize.
This is like there's certain apartment buildings you would go into, and you're like, I want to get high speed internet, and you're like, okay, you can only get it from this person.
Oh yeah, that is different than this scenario.
And that's not a capability issue, and that is a decision by the building.
Right, that's a decision by the building saying this is who we offer, and this is the only one you can go through. Yes.
Yeah. So the FCC is doing this to bring more internet providers to renters. It's forcing broadband providers to disclose any sort of exclusive marketing agreements between landlords and tenants. And it is also banning any sale and leaseback agreements where a landlord exclusively leases from one provider. Thank you for doing something for once and not fucking up our lives, government. You got 1 out of 10. All right. One time.
One time.
We'll give you credit when it's due.
One time.
But moving on to that, I wanted to go over this Joe Rogan thing because this has been controversial. He's been in the news. I just find that he's been around for so fucking long, and then this is just a big problem. I'm going to preface this. While I'm talking about this, Mike, bring up that clip I have sent you. It's the longer one. It's not the Power Ranger one. Yeah. So don't play it yet, but I'll tell you when. I want to preface this by saying I don't agree with what Joe Rogan said. And I think it was wrong. I think it was stupid. And I'm talking about the racist remarks. The COVID thing, I think, is a whole other debate. I'm not saying that I believe the guy he had on. Remember, I feel for him personally, wherever he's from, because he's a fellow content creator. I'm not on his level. I wish I was. Maybe I will be someday. Who knows? You know, if my great audience like you guys keep listening, the sky is the limit, right? But with that being said, you know, nobody's going to be perfect. And everybody wants this thing of perfection when it comes to someone that they don't like. And they're like, aha, I see that you have a glass house. But everybody does. Everybody's heroes has a glass house. Everybody's inspiration has a glass house. There is no such thing as perfectness. Now, there's things that are unforgivable, right? And there's things that aren't. But who is to be that person? And I like to share this point that Trevor Noah brings up with India Ari, because she was very outspoken about Joe Rogan and Spotify. And he brings up a very eloquent point and very articulate, and I think he's being an honest operator here.
Someone asked me this the other day. It was random in the street. Someone walked up to me, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm glad you destroyed Joe Rogan." I was like, first of all, I don't destroy anybody. I don't cancel people. I don't slam. I don't eviscerate. Right. There's a lot of like violent language that gets used. I'm predominantly a human being, and then a comedian. Comedians, we tell jokes. Most of the time, I don't take things that seriously. But what I found interesting was this. I found myself talking to this person in the street, and I said to them, where do we want to be in the world? Do we want to be in a place in the world where we say Joe Rogan leads people, and so by him saying the N-word and making these jokes, he's leading them down the wrong path? But then by that logic, should we not then say by him acknowledging it's the wrong thing and by going that, then we should also acknowledge that that's a good thing? Because the last thing we want to do, and I'm genuinely afraid of this in society, is I don't want to live in a society where we cast people out because the like, as you say, the bad people are so happy for that. They like there was that, it's like another streaming platform or whatever it is. They offered Joe Rogan money, and I don't know if they would give it to him or not, but they said, come, Joe, and bring all those N-word podcasts with you. Do you know what I mean? And I was going like, yo, do I want to live in a world where someone like Joe Rogan doesn't get a chance and becomes welcomed by the worst of society? Or do I want to live in a world where Joe Rogan can say, yeah, I fucked up, and yeah, I was being full of shit, and yeah, I was playing with racism, and I fucked up, and now I don't want to be a part of that? And then you go like, his listenership is hearing this going like, yeah, Joe, we agree with you because we follow you. This is not the cool thing to do. And the reason I asked that, funny enough, is because I think of it around the conversations of criminal justice reform. I think about how many people, especially in America, you know, live in a world where they commit a crime or they live a life that has forced them into crime, right? People will argue about forced or not forced all the time, but I don't think anybody wants to do crime, you know? People do the crime, they serve their time, they get their punishment, whatever it may be, as just or unjust as it may be. But I find society doesn't give them an opportunity to come back, even when that's happened, and society goes, no, you are a criminal. And then I always ask people, I go, how long are you a criminal for now?
Right.
You know? And so I wonder with that, I go, do I want Joe Rogan to now join a gang, quote unquote? Or do I want to live in a world where I can be like, yo, Joe Rogan, you fucked up. I should be able to say that as a person. You as India Ari can say that as a person. I think we should all be able to critique, criticize, talk shit, and still live in a world where you go, even though you fucked up, I still do not want you to be, like, you know what I mean, ostracized into a world that'll encourage that behavior only. Maybe that's how I see it.
That's how I see it too.
Someone asked me this the other day.
So you stop it there. So here's the thing about that, right? India Ari said, hey, you know, she was questioning they're making all this money off of artists' backs. So she had a valid point when she brought it up. You know, and it's not for me to arbitrate what people think is racist or not racist, especially if I'm not black. That's not up to me. But I put Trevor Noah on there because he articulately said it. I could have said the same thing, but I don't know. People might have got on me for it, right? 2 weeks ago, be like, oh, you're supporting a racist because it was just so hot. And I think what Joe said was stupid, insensitive, and poor taste. But so does Trevor Noah there, right? And what he's saying is, when can people be forgiven for their crime? I'm not saying that, hey, you know, something shouldn't be brought up, but to me, man, I just don't think, you know, people can't be held to the standard of perfection. People have to be given the ability to grow and redeem themselves. That's what America's about, right? Second chances. That's what I thought it was about. You know, that's the whole immigration story of coming over from Europe and other parts of the world. That's what America was built on, right? Everybody gets a second chance. And I don't think Joe needs my help to get a second chance. I am just talking about society in general. And what I think scares people and regular people, and when they get so up in arms about this issue, isn't really defending Joe Rogan himself. They're saying, hey, I've said stupid shit that I shouldn't say, that I've learned and grown from. Am I going to be held accountable for something I did 10 years ago that I don't believe anymore? Am I crazy, Mike? Like, is that kind of where I think a lot of regular people have that fear?
Yeah, no, I'm 100% with you.
And to me, as a content creator, I think about that. I'm like, man, can I bring this subject up? Is it going to get twisted and turned? You know, no one's after me like they were after Joe Rogan. And I'm not saying what he said was justified because people were after him. But it is odd that that came up after thousands of hours of video, 12 years of podcasts after the COVID thing. Just saying. And you guys, if you listen to the show, you know I'm not an anti-COVID guy at all, anti-masker. You know that by now if you listen to me. But at the same time, you know, when does he get forgiven? When does someone who commit a crime get forgiven, right? Like, you know, and if it was 12 years ago and he, you know, the other anti-example to this is I felt like John Gruden, when he did his thing, wasn't gracious at all. And it could have went different for him if he was. It was completely wrong across the board for what he was saying, things he was saying. And maybe it wouldn't have went different. But he wasn't gracious at all about it. I don't think he was humble about it. And, you know, people are like, we're done with you. But I didn't get that impression from Joe when I saw his explanation. I didn't see him try to say, well, it shouldn't be wrong. You know, he admitted it to himself. I mean, to me, as a content creator, I'll think like, man, did I say something screwed up 6 years ago that I probably don't believe anymore? I mean, there's been things that I've talked about on the show where I've changed my mind the next week after getting more facts. That's why I like to let the dust settle on something like this, because something new always comes out, and everybody's trying to dunk on everybody and get them and just try to eviscerate them and just be like, you're gone forever, right? I mean, you could just tell by Trevor Noah's story, that's not what he wants to do, but that just sounds like what other people want him to do. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
So I think that no matter what, especially when you are somebody who is broadcasting in any way, shape, or form, Twitch, podcasting, radio, any way, shape, or form that you put yourself out there, you're at risk for this, because if you get popular enough, if you have enough of a following, and if you say something that pisses off or upsets enough of the public, they are definitely going to, then they have it out for you. You have a target on your back. You know, this goes for any of the popular radio guys that we look at from the past, Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony. You know, these guys always had targets on their backs because, you know, you try and do compelling, funny, interesting radio content, podcasting, whatever, and you're going to say controversial things to one end or another that somebody's not going to like. And you're going to push the envelope. I mean, that's why it's called pushing the envelope in radio, because you're pushing it to the extreme. The problem is when you do something like Joe has done recently that divides people so much as the COVID thing does. And when he takes
but the thing about that is he's had people on that were pro-vaccine and anti-vaccine.
Doesn't matter.
Now he's doing shows, I noticed, where he talks about a subject. He's doing back-to-back shows, pro and verse, back-to-back, so people could talk about it,
But
right?
it doesn't matter. He has people that are, but we know his take on it. We know his thoughts. We know he's having other people on so he can be educated, but we know at the end of the day his opinion on it.
He's a regular guy. People's opinions change.
But he's not a regular guy. He is not.
Well, in my eyes, I don't put him on a pedestal like that.
But he is. It doesn't matter if you do or don't. He is.
People should.
He has a huge ginormous platform to talk and to share his viewpoint with so many people. And when you put yourself out there where you as an individual are being basically zapped into every single person's home, and then you go onto a platform,
But you have freedom of association,
when you go onto a big, huge platform, this is, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, this is what comes with it. This is the price of getting to that level.
I think Joe knows that, though.
When you get to that point, he does. Because he has dealt with shit like this in the past.
He turned down $100 million offer to bring all his he stayed with Spotify. He turned it down, for the record, because he didn't want to do that. And the thing is Joe, when you hear him, I don't get that vibe from him. You know what I mean? But okay.
But with this, people, when they get like that, there's going to be one guy or two guys or 10 guys out of millions upon millions upon millions that are going to sit there and have nothing better to do but read every tweet, every Facebook post, listen to every past episode, just to cherry pick, just so that they
that's what happened. I feel like
they could be the guy that puts it out there.
The sin was wrong, in my opinion, but this happened after the COVID thing. And if you look at CNN has it out for him because he caught him and he exposed it. And then they have on CNN the other day, and they'll put a headline up so it registers with all the websites out there, and then they'll change the headline, and it was comparing him dropping the M-bomb to January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and then they changed it because they know they were wrong for that.
Right.
And here's the thing, and Laura, she's right. Not everyone has grown, and the halftime show did prove that somewhat. But here's the thing about that. This is what we have. We all have freedom of association, right? And Howard Stern's a perfect example. And the funny thing about Howard Stern is, people used to say, well, just turn the channel, right? But that's the thing that made Howard Stern such a phenomenon. Even people that hated him had to listen to him because they wanted to hear what he's going to say next. And, guess what? Because they were looking to get him. And guess what? They didn't. And, cancel culture is a problem. And the problem is that the pendulum always swings both ways. So it's not going to hit your hero one day, and I'm not saying Joe's my hero or anybody else's hero, and then one day it's going to hit yours, and you're going to be like, wait a second, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? And then you're going to feel that same way because the pendulum always swings both ways. We don't want to, because you have to ask yourself, it's okay right now, my side, they're on this side. But if the other side gets in, what's going to happen here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, as a society, you can't really subscribe to that theory because you're going to miss teachable moments. And if you don't have teachable moments, if you don't have lessons, how do you grow, right? And that's part of what this process is. And, I don't know. He is famous enough. It doesn't matter. But some people aren't. And, I think about those people that you don't know that got quashed because they're not that famous or put their whole lives work into building a tiny platform and having a small slither, and they messed up once 7 years ago, and now they want to paint them as that person 7 years ago. And I reject that. I wholly reject it. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to Joe, but I'm saying the common person has that fear because you always ask, why are they sticky up for this guy that obviously doesn't need any help? And it's not about the guy, it's about the ideology. And that's the problem here. So Joe Rogan, Whoopi, Aquafina, and Chappelle, none were canceled. Is this a new is this a new culture? The cancel culture getting canceled itself? I don't think so. But Whoopi Goldberg's back to work. Aquafina had a commercial. It's not canceled, but it's on notice, I think. And things come back the other way. And sometimes people do deserve to be canceled. It's not up to me to arbitrate that, right? And here's the thing. If you don't like, her career was ruined, but she really wasn't like
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, she was like she even said herself she's like a D-lister. But I mean, she's not really. I think she came a little bit back. I mean, she would come on Bill Maher and stuff, and then, she kind of went into the spotlight. I mean, it was kind of, but people remember her forever for that. But she can make a comeback. I mean, look, Louis C.K. laid on the floor and jerked off in front of people, and now he's on tour again. I mean, you can redeem yourself in America. You just have to be humble, ask for forgiveness, admit that you're wrong when you're wrong. The problem is the people that are assholes about it are the ones that dig in when they know they're wrong, and that's where people start to clash. But to me, when you do it this way, you're trying to control how people think 100% by paralyzing anything they do. And that's not going to work. No one's canceled, Gene, right now.
Godfrey has been canceled.
Yeah, I've been canceled. Fuck. That's the only reason I'm on. Yeah, that's why I'm on Toxic Radio. We don't get canceled here. So,
Well, there are certain things you could do here at Toxic Radio
Yeah.
that'll get you canceled.
like eating in the studio.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Well, Mike, I hope you don't get
Oh.
canceled because you're about to eat. So, we have a super secret thing that Mike's going to eat. Okay.
It's penis.
This thing, no, Mike's done that already, and we'll get kicked off the platform. I haven't seen Mike do that in person, but I've heard stories about him eating something like that. So I want to give this a description. So I've been told to swear to its secrecy, but today I did run into this, and this is a pretzel, a Philly pretzel. That is Carolina Reaper and Ghost White Pepper flavor. So it's supposed to be hot. This person asked me, do I like spicy stuff? And I said no, but I do know a guy that will put anything in his mouth. And Mike is the first person I thought of.
So here's what's funny about this. Is that when you eat spicy stuff, they tell you to eat bread. So
Well, I don't know. I mean, you've eaten extreme stuff, but we're also judging the flavor on this. I've saw people eat it in front of me, and they were very pleased. I heard good feedback. So
I'm not seeing.
I'm going to give you a story behind it before you eat it.
Good.
This person came up with the idea. I don't know if I can say their name or not. I was sworn to secrecy, so you know who you are. If I can say your name, I will. You know how to get in contact with me. But, they were talking to their dad, and they wanted to make the world's hottest pretzel. So that's what they're trying to do here. And, gave out some samples, and, it was their first batch. So we are on the ground floor here, and no negative feedback. So she can't tell us the secret ingredients.
You are being asked, why aren't you eating it yourself?
Because I don't like hot shit.
But
And
it's your show.
yeah, but Mike, you eat stuff. You've been on the show. It's documented. Laura, I know you're mad that you may have to pay the price for this, but I can't help it. Mike likes stuff like this. He didn't say no. He was like, yes, I will do that. Free food, and it's hot. You know you want it. Put it in your mouth, baby.
What the fuck is happening?
So we are going to have Mike take, he's taking a shot. Is that cream of some young guy? What is that? Is that whiskey?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's going to make it burn even more.
All right, so I'm supposed to eat this. Got some powder on it. I'm going to try and go for a spot that
Go for the
looks
most
to have
powder.
the most. I can actually tear it. There we go. All right.
Tastes good? It's hot. Is it hot?
Holy. Wow, dude. Wow. Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
this is why this is why we waited toward the end of the show.
I wasn't expecting that.
This is why we waited toward the end of the show.
I got it all on the tip of my tongue.
Do you need milk?
Oh. Wow.
Is it that hot?
I'm not even. This is not an act. I'm not playing it up.
Guys,
Holy crap.
you do realize Toxic Mike is a legend.
Oh.
He is a legend as far as eating hot stuff. I'm just letting you know. He's eating hot bugs. He's buys hot sauce. The more it hurts his butthole, the more he wants it. This is why he's.
Oh my God. It's not. It's right on tip of my tongue. And
Did
on
you
my
get
lips.
the spot with like the most powder on it on purpose?
I did.
Okay. Well, he did it like a man. He went for the cream first.
Oh
This-
my God.
This is going to be the sound circle.
Is this on the menu?
No, it's super secret menu. Think of like Wendy's super secret menu. I could get you some if you want
What, you
some.
got to talk to a guy in a back alley?
Sort of, yeah. So this is going to be the sound you hear around Mike's toilet tonight.
I'm starting to tear up.
It's going to be a
getting
raven.
worse.
Yeah. You'll be hearing that in like April, right, Mike?
Oh my God.
Well,
You know what I always thought was weird?
drinking water does make it worse, my friend.
As I start to cry, breathing in helps with the heat. Breathing out
How's the flavor?
always hurts.
We want to know how the flavor is, though.
There is absolutely
I mean,
no
it's
flavor.
no. There has to be.
There is just
Is it just too hot?
There is just heat. It is a good pretzel, but with a lot of freaking heat. I don't know if you can see my eye, but I got tears.
But Mike, that's good to you. Like you look for that, though, don't you?
Not on this level.
It's that hot. Wow. Toxic Mike has been taken out.
I'm glad that I only took one bite. I was going to take a second
I do see some sweat.
because it's going to
You know, I'm gonna say, Mike, I've seen
dissipate shortly.
I saw people eat this, and they took it like a champ. Like
well, you know what?
there was a 5-year-old that bit a piece of
They
this.
are better than me.
And if you like to eat stuff like this, does it say about what does it say? Does it say like, "Hi, my name's Mike. I like spicy shits."
Like I need a tissue in here. My nose is starting to run. I like hot stuff that gets on the brink of this, where I have to eat like
Now, keep in
five
mind,
wings to get to this point.
were there other spots on it that were like less coated with the
yes,
powder?
I got a part that had like a little bit actually hanging off.
So maybe
it.
the flavor was good. It just needs to be spread out a little bit more evenly or less intense in one spot.
Do you want to taste one?
No.
Because you're asking a lot of questions.
Well, that's
that I
why
think
you
could be answered if you just tasted it.
That's why we pay you the big dollars here, Mike. And you are you are the expert of putting foreign object in your mouth. So I didn't want to take that expertise away from you.
Oh my God, this is. You do not expect a pretzel to be that
Statistically,
spicy.
people that like spicy food are more aggressive and adventurous in the bedroom. Is that true, Mike?
Maybe not tonight,
Not tonight.
because there's going to be some pain down below.
So no one's eating your booty like the groceries.
No, please stay away.
Oh my God, Laura, I love her. Why aren't you eating yourself? Because it's fucking hot.
It's.
And have you not met Mike? You've been with Mike for a long time. Does he not eat shit that's crazy? I mean, isn't it the first thing, guys? Like, did you blow hot sauce through your nose, or was that a condom? Or was it?
That was condoms that I would snort through my nose and.
Did
pull
you
out of my
snort
mouth.
hot sauce once?
I have snorted cocaine energy drink. Never snorted hot sauce.
Yep.
Don't get any ideas.
So listen, that can be.
It's
Do you
actually starting to subside?
Would
now.
it be fair to crown that as the world's hottest pretzel?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Wow. I
That
think
is the world's hottest pretzel, at least as Toxic Radio and Taking It Deep are concerned. I'm not an official judge, but to me, that is the world's hottest pretzel.
I'm an official judge. Mike's having a party over there.
I mean, this is a contender for an in-studio contest one day because that is insane.
Oh, so what would be the contest though? Like how many?
I don't know who just hates themselves and hates their stomach at 1 a.m. Here's a pretzel.
It's got to be for like some tickets, maybe for like some kind of tickets for like what's that, M3 or something like that? Free tickets for M3.
You
Yeah.
see the color, the like orange hue.
Now, when that was given to me and I put it in my car, I had black rubber gloves on. I didn't want to itch my nuts by accident. And
The question is, why does Godfrey have black rubber gloves in his car?
it's called the Dexter kit. No, I'm just joking. Sometimes you never know when you're going to need them. I don't know, man. Fingerprints are a funny thing. They get all over everything. But, yeah. He's like, I'll finish. Gene goes, but I want, maybe there should be a waiver before someone tries it. Oh, Mike will definitely have waivers. Don't you worry about that. But, Gene's like, I'll eat it, but you want something for it. We'll
Godfrey hug.
we'll give you a glass of milk. It does the body good. Waivers could be good. I do know hot places, and Mike, you probably do, that make hot sauce that's so hot that they make you sign a waiver before you eat it.
I'll do you one better, Alex. I would get you a toxic zip up hoodie.
If you could finish it. I mean, I'm gonna make sure that you got if you do this contest though, you're gonna have to have the same coating that Mike went for. Like, there's not going to be any of this, like, pixie, fucking peanut band sprinkle dust on top of it. Like, you're not going to be over here like Salt Bay, like, oh, I just put a little bit on there. I qualify. No, it's going to be a fucking slam on there of this ghost pepper or white pepper, what is it? Ghost white pepper Carolina Reaper dust.
What happened to your language there?
I don't know. Just whatever. But free show. That's funny. Well, that's not up to me. I if it's a free show, I say it's all right, Mike.
Thank you, Godfrey.
Especially
Appreciate that.
especially if it's for Friday night or Thursday night or whatever night.
It is subsided now. You're welcome.
Yeah. So with that being said, folks, thanks for listening in. I feel like that was a perfect grand finale. You know where to find us if you didn't hear the whole show. If you want to show your friends a picture of Mike gagging, like the video on Taking It Deep with the Godfrey, or Taking It Deep now as we change it. We're Taking It Deep now, and I am the Godfrey, so we all know that. Mike, can't we see this on YouTube? Is any YouTube.com/Play Toxic?
There you go.
Right, and you can get all the audio versions, iTunes, Google Play. Just, Google Taking It Deep. I'm going to show up. If you want to say, hey, Alexa, and this is part of the reason why I kind of shorten the name, I want to hear Taking It Deep. It's going to play it on Amazon Music for you. Trust me when you say that. And with that being said, this is the Godfrey, not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.